You know, there's always so much excitement before going live for something like this. There's the build-up of getting a lot of messages and emails beforehand, and women asking questions and things happening, and then just coming closer to the event and feeling more and more, you know, hundreds of women registering from all over the planet to be a part of this, and then hitting the button and being like starting the event and going live. And there's something really potent about that when that happens, that moment of opening the space, opening the floodgates. And some of you might have been in the first training that we did in this. This is the live encore, because this didn't work for some women in some time zones, and some women didn't manage to get in. And so I chose to do another one live for you here. And those of you who either were in the first session or who have seen the chat that I shared a little snippet of from the first session, you know that this was a really potent and powerful training. And so with that, I feel really grateful to be sharing this space again with you here today. Okay, so checking who is in the house. So Nora, hi from the UK, Yannick, the Netherlands, Eleanor, India, nice, Emilia, Portugal, Karin, Stockholm, Sweden, Annemieke, Holland, Heidi, Byron Bay, Australia, Anna, Germany, sweet, Luna, Hawaii, nice, Adelina, Ala from Spain, nice, Arul, sweet, welcome, Lisa from the Netherlands, Ashi, welcome, Canada, Snezana, Smiles, Debbie, Netherlands, Sissel, Stockholm, beautiful London, Sweden, hey Steve, beautiful. Hi Mix, hi Heidi. Yana, Dubai, awesome. Marianne, Holland, Lyle, friends, and so on. Oh God, there's more and more coming in. Wilhelmine, Oslo, beautiful. Irene, Italy, Gizem, Turkey, beautiful. Marianne, can we see this back? There shall be a replay. Unless something goes wrong with the whole tech thing, then there should be a replay, because I've been kind of flooded with messages from women in different time zones who are like, it's going to be 4 a.m. for me or 1 a.m. I know some women are up in the middle of the night watching this, and so I want to honor your time and your space today. But yes, there should be a replay if all goes well with the tech gods and everything. Cecilia, hello from Denmark. Ellen from Amsterdam. Valerie, Netherlands, beautiful. Tasha, it's early. Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, more and more women coming in by the moment. Okay, beautiful. Excellent, excellent, beautiful. Vina, Norway. Okay, sweet. And so with that, warmly welcome to today's masterclass, the 5 Yogini approved keys to 10xing your orgasm. And before we dive in, because there is a lot that we're going to cover today, I want to tune in with you and check what called you the most about today's masterclass. What inspired you to be here? You know, there's a whole bunch of things that were listed on the website for this that you know that you will be receiving, but I'm curious, what was it for you that called you? And it could be something that's not even relevant in terms of what I wrote, but what is present for you in your life, what calls you in this exploration of opening up to deeper pleasure. So share that in the chat, and also share at any point during the entire masterclass. You're welcome to share in the chat anything that touches you, anything that inspires you, any insight that you have. I may or may not read everything, most likely not, because there's probably going to be a lot. Oh wow, you did. Tuning in from Amsterdam together with baby in my belly. That is so beautiful. Wow, how amazing, how sweet to have an unborn child yet to be born tuning into this training. I feel really touched by that. Beautiful. Kala, you write intrigue. Okay, so just write in the chat what called you to be here today in today's masterclass. And as you're doing that, I want to give a couple of, you could call it like housekeeping rules or things that are going to make it really easy and breezy for you today. So first of all, turn off anything else that might be distracting you. And so this includes like other tabs. I'm actually going to close a couple of things that I don't need in this moment. And just want to check if let's see if the live stream is going fine. So just let me know if you can see me and hear me well. I haven't asked that yet. It seems like you can all hear me, but can you just confirm that the video is coming through clearly? Just so that I know if I need to do anything else with this. So let me know in the chat about that. I was attempting to do a live stream on YouTube at the same time, but it doesn't really seem like it's necessarily working. Oh yeah, now we're on. Okay, perfect. We are on live with YouTube at the same time. That's cool. So I gotta say though, you guys who are here in the official webinar, which if you're watching from YouTube, just down below the live stream, you can get into the actual webinar, which is when you can engage and ask questions in the chat. How long will it take? About 90 minutes, give or take. I will stay on for questions more towards the end a little bit. I most likely won't be able to get to all questions, but I will tune into which questions feel like the most relevant and the most serving for the most people. And so roughly about 90 minutes is the time for this training. Okay, beautiful. So Dagmar is sharing about what called her to be in today's masterclass. She says, you, Rania, you have inspired me so much by being so in touch with your body and being so orgasmic. Didn't even know this was even possible before meeting you. It's like quite big to hear and quite humbling, really beautiful. Thank you. See and hear you very well. Super. And Heidi says, wanting to awaken and activate more of my pleasure potential. Sweet, yes, lots of yeses. Irene says, I feel the genital orgasm isn't enough. Yeah, totally. Beautiful. And Haley, I know most relationships haven't not been conscious. I feel I want to understand me more. Beautiful. And Maria says, great to hear we have the youngest member here. The best start you can get. Exactly. Oh, and Amelia says, Judith, me too, also pregnant. Okay, let me know if there are any more pregnant women. We know we at least have 2 mini babies who are tuning in, unless you guys are using headphones, and they should be able to hear my voice and hear this at the same time. It's a perfect time to play music for your belly. Yvonne says, to feel more life force in my pelvis and build up my business even more and with more flow and energy. Yeah, beautiful. The connection between sexual energy and business. Valerie says, being more deeply connected to life. Heidi says, wanting to awaken and activate more of my pleasure potential. Okay, beautiful. So you're all in the right place. So yeah, so turn off any unnecessary tabs, especially if your Wi-Fi is slow. If you have a bunch of tabs open, that's going to slow your experience down. And do not be downloading videos and stuff at the same time, because that's going to make me turn into this like pixelated robot. And so just, clear that away. I'm actually going to now put my phone into airplane mode just to have all the bandwidth for this as well. And give yourself your full presence for this, and also make sure that you're comfortable. You can sit watching this. You can also, something that I often do when I'm watching a webinar or watching a video on YouTube is that I'm dancing or shaking or stretching or just doing some breathing or moving my body at the same time, kind of mixing and just sitting still, meditating, and then sometimes stretching and moving. So feel free to do that throughout as well. I think that's it in terms of housekeeping rules that I wanted to cover. And let me see if there was anything else. Yeah, feel free to take notes whenever something stands out to you, or not, just an option. And if you have a question at any point, next to where you type your comment in the chat, there should be a little thing where you can select to mark it as a question, and it will pop up red for me. And in the back and in the control panel, I'll be able to see that as a question. So towards the end, I'll be able to very easily find that and answer your question. So mark it as a question. And you can also raise your hand to speak, and then you will get a little notification saying like, yes, allowed to use your camera, and then basically we can have a real conversation. And so if that is something that calls you, then towards the end, then we can do that as well. Okay, so today, in today's webinar, we are going to cover, okay, beautiful. Yannicka says, I would love to open up more, feel more connected to my body, know my yoni better, feminine flow. Yes, beautiful. Okay, Gizem says, my screen says the broadcast would start shortly. Do yours say the same? Let me just type this out here. Refresh the page. So refresh the page, and that also goes for at any time. If you're noticing freezing or lagging, just refresh the page and you should be totally good to go. Okay, sweet. So with that, today we are going to cover, this is what you're going to learn in today's masterclass. You're going to learn, of course, the 5 secret keys to 10xing your orgasm. And so if you are a consciously evolving woman, you're going to absolutely love all of this. How to have an energy breath orgasm. I'm going to, and I'm talking specific methods, not a general thing, but a specific method. So that's the time that you want to take notes when I'm going through that one. I'm going to cover the #1 mistake even super orgasmic women make, and why pleasure can actually throw you off balance if you don't master this one key. And this is also the key to your youth, vitality, and well-being, and the most effortless source of exquisite pleasure. I'm going to cover, you want to learn, the missing link between pleasure and manifestation, and the most natural key to realizing your big dreams with the use of your orgasmic energy. And I will also share a glimpse into the deepest and most beautiful offering that I've ever created for women. And yes, there will be a replay. However, nothing beats the fully connected experience. So as you're here now, you might as well go for the full ride. And there will also be some extra bonuses. And at the end, I'll stay on to answer questions, any questions you might have. And again, depending on time, we may not be able to get to everybody, but tune into what feels like a really potent question that you want to ask. Okay, and so with that, let us drop into connection and into our body before we go further, because there can be a lot of excitement leading up to an event like this, especially if you've heard about the kind of experiences that women had at the first one. You might be feeling a lot of excitement, and maybe it was really easy for you to log in. Maybe there was like some, I don't know what the link and how does it work, but now you're here. And so with that, take a moment now to drop into how you're feeling in this moment. So breathe into your woman's body. And you can do this with your eyes closed and with your eyes open, just noticing how you're feeling in this moment, noticing how you're feeling right now. Taking a couple of deep breaths. There, and then with your next breath in, sweep your arms to the sides and all the way up towards the sky. And stretch your arms upwards. You can stretch a little bit the left one and then the right one, create a bit more length, and also stretch out the side of your waist and the side of your ribs. Anchoring your hips down. You can't see it right now really, but I'm rotating my hips and anchoring my booty down into the ground a bit more. And then find a gentle back bend as you arch through your back. Another deep breath in. And then breathing out, and bring your hands down to the crown of your head, and then slowly brush down with soft hands. You can caress your face, your throat, your heart, your breasts, your belly, brushing down your legs, shaking your hands. Again, breathing in, stretching up, and breathing out. Brushing down, you can also massage your neck, pull your hair, massage your shoulders. Brushing down the sides of your cage, your kidneys, your hips. And one more time, deep breath in. And breathing out. And with your fingertips, just tracing the midline down your forehead, down your nose, down your mouth, down your throat, your heart. If you want, you can give a little squeeze to your breasts. And then down your belly, and down towards your womb space and your pussy. And rolling your shoulders a couple of times. And And then once again, coming to stillness and to inner quietude. And if your eyes are still open, you're welcome. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes. And take a couple of deep breaths into your body. And breathing into here your woman's body, and feel this intelligence of your body and the naturalness of your aliveness, how all the cells in your body are communicating with one another, the different processes are happening, your blood is flowing around your body, your brain is activated and communicating and firing on so many different levels. That pulsation of the beating heart inside your body. And tuning into also your erotic innocence, how you were born, how you were born from sex, how you were born from this aliveness. And also, in this moment, even yes, we are here connecting through our devices. I have my MacBook here, maybe you have your phone or laptop or tablet or other device, even though we have technology, so to speak, before we can all master telepathy or until we hang out in the same room next time. In spite of the permission slip of technology, take a moment right now and acknowledge that in this moment there are hundreds of women tuning in from all over the world, and each woman with a beating heart, with love, with hopes and dreams and passions and heartaches and heartbreaks and heart openings and countries that you have traveled and things that you have been through. Maybe you've lost loved ones, maybe you've given birth, maybe there's so much here in terms of aliveness in this very moment. So take a moment and stretch your arms out towards the side and imagining connecting with other women who are tuning in like a grid work around the planet. And if you want, you can even look to the sides, look to the right and to the left, and imagine that you can see across the curvature of the earth with like laser x-ray vision and see the other women who are tuning in all around the planet, feeling that connection with everybody. Great. And then you can let that go, bring your hands back to yourself and tap a few times in the lung point here underneath your collarbones. And as you do this, you might notice that your breath naturally begins to deepen. It's also really calming for the nervous system. You can also tap anywhere that feels good. Just release some tension on your body, and then do a little more like raindrops tapping on your face and down your chest, down your heart, down your nipples, all the way down. And then rolling your shoulders just once, forwards, up, back, and down. And coming to your rest. And so with that, we're diving into the 5 Yogini approved keys to 10xing your orgasm. And as I begin to do this, share with me in the chat how you are feeling now. How are you feeling now after this brief drop in, and how can you actually feel the connection with the other women? So again, if we were all sitting in a circle in the same room, then we could just ask and speak to each other, but now we have these tech devices at our disposal. So let me know in the chat how you're feeling right now in this moment after we did this brief meditation drop in. And as I allow for the chat messages to come in, then we are going to dive in with the first key. And the first key is mastery of your breath. Mastery of your breath. And specifically for lovemaking and for enhancing sexual energy and orgasm, it's really important to understand that there's no one right way of breathing in general in life. However, different methods of breathing have really different effects inside your body. And so when you breathe through the nose, it's amazing for increased focus, for really calming the mind, great for yoga, great for focus work. However, breathing in and out through an open mouth is what activates your sexual energy and your lower energy centers, and more of your pre-verbal, intuitive, genius, feminine body when you breathe through an open mouth. Open mouth also brings you into a greater state of surrender and receptivity. And open mouth breathing is the number one way to breathe yourself into a state of natural high. And we're going to experience this in just a moment. I just want to move for 1 second to the chat and see how you're feeling after this. Once open-hearted and grounded. Tyson Tina feeling super relaxed from Croatia. Beautiful. Hey Tina, are you the Tina that I saw in Bali as well? Or another Tina? Let's see. Wilhelmine says refreshed, like having a shower and centered. Amelia, relaxed, central, juicy. Debbie, I feel more grounded, more central energy of the tiredness. Yeah, tiredness can come when you release. Gizem says confusion in my head has gone. Irene says, I could visualize a golden net around the earth. By the way, Irene, since you said that you're in Italy, I'm assuming you have the Italian pronunciation and not Irene for your name. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for your shares. So with the breath, the open mouth connected breathing, the best way to explain this is actually to experience this. So we're going to do this briefly together. And depending on where you are right now, you may or may not be able to go full on in this. If you are in a coffee shop, then, I mean, it's up to you. As long as you don't get arrested, I think it's kind of fine. And maybe you can do it like in a very subtle way. But if you're in a space where you're alone and you can make sounds, then you can really go for this. And so to start this, and when I'm saying this, actually do it with me. However big or however subtle, do some version of this with me. Okay, are you in? Just give me a yes if you're in. In this, beautiful, excited and curious. Beautiful, yeah, we met in Bali at the Yogini workshop. Sweet. Okay, nice. Great, so give me a yes in the chat if you are in for this. Okay, great. Yeah, the yeses are starting to come in. So beautiful. So to start this, take some deep, full breaths in and out of your body. And already as you do this, relax your mouth open. Lots of yeses coming in. Beautiful. Relax your mouth open. So this means soft cheeks and relaxed jaw. And just leave your mouth open there when you both breathe in and when you breathe out. It looks like this. Great, continue doing this and add even more softness to it and bring in the quality of deep, soft, loving breaths as you're doing this. Continue breathing in and out. Great, and as you're doing this, a feeling of expanding with the inhale and relaxing with the exhale. Great. And now continue exactly in this way that you're doing right now, but breathe slightly deeper and slightly faster and begin to really blend the breaths so there are no gaps in between the inhale. Okay, ready? So breathe. A little bit faster. Great, continue. Continue, and as I'm speaking, continue breathing like this and noticing how you're feeling, noticing what is happening inside your body. Noticing what's happening in your pussy, in your pelvic floor, in your heart, in your belly. Keep on breathing deeply in and out, allowing for life to begin to flow in. We'll just do this for about a minute total, so just really allow yourself to have this experience in this moment. A few more breaths. In, out, in, out, in, out. Great. In, out, and then one more. In, and out. And if you want, you can do another goddess rinse where you breathe in and stretch out and breathe out, and either touching or just lowering your hands down in the energy field. Allow this to settle in and noticing and answering the question, how are you feeling now? Even with just about a minute or maybe 2 minutes of breathing like this, what's did you experience? And so if you need another few moments to come back, and maybe you want to keep on breathing, you can totally do that. But when you're ready, I would love to hear in the chat some comments about what are you experiencing now, even just 1 or 2 minutes of open mouth, connected breathing. And as those messages are coming in, just want to share that the key to do this in lovemaking or in self-pleasure is to come from a space of relaxation so that you can really feel at the same time. So it's not about going like a fire breath, because when you push the exhale, you tend to get really dizzy. It's really coming from that space of softness and surrender, but really so that you can feel that you have this breath flowing at the same time you're receptive for touch, whether that is a touch of a lover or a touch of yourself. And so we're talking about like fire breath versus surrendered breath. And I really tune into the quality of the ocean here, although it can definitely become more fiery as long as it comes from relaxation. Okay, beautiful. So lots of shares coming in here. So Anamika, high in my head, Cecilia, a little dizzy, Adelina, body's vibrating, Yannicka, tingling, Gudula, more alive, tingling in jaw, Debbie, tingling sensations, aliveness, Yoni's opening. You know what I mean? Tired and sensitive, exactly. So you can begin to feel whatever is there, which might be energy, might be tiredness. Heidi, light and centered. Tina, more in my body, expanded. Beautiful. You know what I mean? A bit dizzy in my head, like bubbles in the head, and a little lightheaded and energy rushing through my body. And then I feel a bit dizzy and relaxed. Emilia, open, receptive. So if you feel really dizzy, 2 things. One is to just have a bit more space for that full relaxation, and secondly to relax the exhale. The more you just have a active inhale and a relaxed exhale, the less the dizziness comes. But the more you do this, the more you begin to really buzz in your entire body. And when you make love and you're both breathing in this kind of way, you can ride these waves higher and higher together. Really beautiful. Dagmar says, breast and yoni feeling super awake, juicy and tingly. My head feels light, crown open, back feels energized, belly open. Beautiful. And Valerie says, alive. I had to laugh really loud. Beautiful. And Lael, beautiful name by the way. Energetic waves in my body, feeling dizzy a bit. And in expansion, Emilia, open, receptive. Okay, beautiful. So there's so much, so much to learn about the breath. Like literally it's in its own entire universe. So in my courses and live retreats, we go a ton deeper into this. There is a lot you can train in this. Personally, I'm certified in transformational breath, but I also have years of experience in tantric and Taoist breath work and holotropic breath work and quantum light breath and rebirthing and breath of bliss and pranayama and others. And so what I teach in my live retreats is really a combination of the most effective and beautiful methods that I have found. And so now you have a taster. And so if this is something that calls you, then I cannot recommend highly enough to explore breath work as a path, especially the kind of breath that combines amazing openings and even like therapeutic qualities, so giving space for emotions and healing, as well as powerful sexual energy. Those two together, one without the other, I find doesn't go as deep. And so that is something that I would recommend, to follow your call and your inspiration in that. And so now we're moving on to secret number 2. Just one moment here. Can I just toolbar? Okay, there we go. Sweet. So secret number 2 is energy activation, circulation, and sublimation. And so energy activation, circulation, and sublimation. Let me just put this into the chat as well. So when you open your breath, you can learn to circulate your breath and energy. And there are many, many different ways to circulate your breath and your energy. And I want to go through a few of the main ways of circulating the breath. So you can breathe in different sequences with your chakras. So for example, you can breathe in and out of the root, in and out of the sickle, in and out of the solar plexus, in and out of the heart, in and out of the throat, the third eye, the crown. You can also create circles, for example, either in the full orbit, which is the next thing that I want to be sharing with you, or you can start creating little loops between the two chakras at a time and making them bigger and bigger, or moving bigger and then smaller, the different sequences, or you can spiral between them. And this all helps to open your energy pathways inside your body. Another really potent way is called breathing in the microcosmic orbit, which is one of the main ways of breathing in the Tantric and Taoist tradition. The microcosmic orbit, the most commonly used direction of it is that the energy flows down the front of your body, through your genitals, up your spine, and through your crown, and then back down again. So it's like a circle up the spine and down the front. And there are two different ways of breathing with this. One is to inhale all the way down your front, and then exhale all the way up your back. Inhale and exhale. You can also do the same circle, but the breath in the other way. And so inhaling up your spine and exhaling down your front. Inhaling up your spine and exhaling down your front. The first version tends to awaken more sexual energy, whereas the second version tends to bring sexual energy more up into your spine, into your brain, and into your higher chakras. And when you are together with a partner, you can also combine your two microcosmic orbits. So for example, I might be with my partner and I can breathe in, down my front and out, up my spine, in, down my front and out, up his spine, in, down his front and out, up my spine, and we create this figure of 8, this infinity loop between us. Another version of this, and see, like all of these practices you can explore so deeply. So I'm just giving you the brief crash course right now. Another way to do a circle between the two of you, and again, you can do this with a partner, you can do it with nature, you can do it by yourself, but for women, it's a quality of inhaling into your pussy, so inhaling, receiving between your thighs, and then exhaling from your heart and from your breath. So inhaling, receiving, and exhaling, giving. Inhaling, quality of being penetrated into your sex center, and then giving from your heart. Really beautiful way. And again, you can do this with nature, you can do this with a partner, you can do this with the ocean. It's really beautiful. And if you're with a male partner, then he would be exhaling from his sex center, inhaling into your heart, exhaling from his sex center, inhaling into his heart. And so it creates this really beautiful circle of light between you two, where you can do this whether your partner knows about it or not, because you can do this as you are being penetrated. You can breathe in this way and feel this wave of light move through you. And the last one that I want to share right now is also breathing with the earth and with the sky. You can try this right now as well, where you inhale and you draw earth energy up through the core channel, the Sushumna Nadis, this pathway straight through the center of your body. Breathing earth energy up and breathing out and receiving light from the sky. So breathing in, receiving earth energy up, and breathing out, receiving light from the sky. And this is a really beautiful way to be plugged in vertically and source your energy in a really beautiful way. It's also a great way to just have a really relaxed presence. I do this a lot when I'm in conversation with people, where we're having conversation like this. At the same time, I'm running the earth and the sky through my body, and that way I can be in a lot of communications and a lot of connections and leading workshops and also giving webinar. I feel really vertically plugged in, such that I can do this without feeling depleted and without feeling like I need to go outside of myself or push back. There's just this really beautiful, relaxed, vertical, relaxed restedness. And there are so many more ways, different spirals, different pathways to open in the body. And when I teach sexual vitality Qigong, I guide women into different, more advanced ways of circulating the breath in the body in different ways. And so if you imagine your body and your breath to be like an instrument, the way most people breathe is kind of like strumming the same one chord for the rest of your life, maybe two chords. It's like you have normal breathing and you have moaning or panting, like either when you have sex or when you're like running or something. Those are like two different ways of breathing. Or maybe you're meditating, you have a bit more of a mindful breath or something like that. But what is possible is to expand this range of nuances, mastering playing your instruments in different nuances and different rhythms. And when you're circulating your energy in different ways, you have different effects. And when you start doing this together with other people, it starts getting really, really fun as well. And so let me know in the chat if this resonates with you, if this all makes sense to you, so that I know that you're all on board. I know this is like some pretty advanced techniques that I'm going through right now. By the way, I had a haircut a couple of days ago and I'm still getting used to like the shorter hair. It looks kind of unusual for me, but I like the freshness. I like the freshness of the vitality in this. And Marianne Deron says, Dear Ronja, when I get an orgasm, I'm just going to take this question right now because it's pretty cool. When I get an orgasm, I tighten all my body, especially in my bum. That results in muscle pain, and I think I block a lot with it. Absolutely perfect. Yes, you do. You kind of answer your own question there, and so many women do this, and so many men do this as well. It's like you build to a peak, and there's like tension, and you almost like you. It's almost like similar energy to when you go to the toilet and your digestion isn't really good, so you have to like really push, which is not a good thing to do, by the way. It's better to just open up your digestive system so it comes out easily, but it's almost like like an orgasmic constipation where you like contract and push around the orgasm. And so I'm going to address this in secret number 5, how to move out of this. And so just stay tuned for that. So Cecilia says, makes sense. Tina, super interesting. We love it. Annabelle, so inspiring. I would really like to learn all of this in depth. Yes, exactly. There's so much because I can speak about it and you can actually begin to play with it even from just what I said. And there's so much more to discover when you do this live. Good, that makes a lot of sense. Nice. Debbie says, I realize some of them I already do intuitively. I'm on this, want more. Nice. Irina says, it's amazing. Love Qigong. Okay, beautiful. Perfect. Nice. Dagmar, beautiful discovery breathwork. Asthma as a child. Oh, nice. So in the last few years, you are opening up to your orgasmic potential. That's really beautiful to hear. Okay, guys, are you ready for key number 3? Are you ready for key number 3? I'm going to put this one into the chat as well. Secret number 3 is sound. Open pathway from your sex to your mouth. This is a really fun one as well. So sound is something that is so healing. The sound vibrations. You know this when you are singing or when you are chanting mantras or when you're singing kirtan, just singing along to your favorite music or singing in a choir even, where you're infused with these vibrations. It's so healing for the body and it opens, it really creates an inner sonic experience of vibration in every cell of your body. And the cool thing with sound is that your experience creates sound and sound can also create your experience. So let me give an example of this. So when you get turned on, especially if you are with a partner and you're getting involved and there's more how can you say, physicality and engagement in this. For example, like when you're having sex and it's really passionate and kind of pounding and rhythmical and there's a lot of impact. Unless you've had a whole bunch of sexual repression and suppression, there's going to be a reflection in the sounds that you make that come from this experience. And the cool thing is also that when you make sound, that also creates that experience. I'm going to give you an example. And again, depending on where you're at, I would love for you to actually join in. If you're in a space where you can make sounds, then try this for yourself. I promise you within 30 seconds, you will feel a massive difference. And if you're in a cafe or in a public place, then again, you can choose if you want to risk getting arrested for public pleasure or not. But which could be a fun experiment when we can change the world in this kind of way, just through being open in this kind of way. And so sound can simply be releasing and healing. And it can also be deeply arousing. And so I'm going to give you 2 examples of different sounds. And I know on the live stream the sound might not be that great, but so just forgive the acoustics in this context. But so I'm going to start with some deeper breaths. And then when I do this, we start with the first kind of sound, which is just normal sounding, you can say. And then this means we go into the sexy sounding. And so do this together with me. Okay, so type in the chat if you are in. Just give it a few seconds. If you're in and you want to try this together. And then we will do it. Okay, cool. Yes, they're coming in. Beautiful. All right, so with that, begin to take some deeper breaths. Ah, 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 last one. Great. And then come back to normal breathing. And I'm actually in a kind of semi-public place. I couldn't go like super loud. If we were together in private, I could go way louder, but that's basically it. Okay, lots of yeses coming in. Beautiful, like Mrs. Soundgasms, yay. Okay, and now let me know, how did that feel for you and what did you notice? If you just go, nice releasing sound, but if you go, then what happens? For me, my experience right now I can share is that I feel buzzing, I feel tingling in my cheeks, I feel like the colors and everything is kind of more bright around. I feel more energy rushing through my body. Heidi says, don't stop. I love that. Nice. And by the way, there's some women, it seems like there's some women who are writing a lot, but there's like a lot of women who are here right now, and so would love for a lot of you who haven't written yet to write in the chat as well. Adelina said, all the energy went directly to my yoni. Sweet. Okay, beautiful. Really exciting. Okay, nice. So just a little bit of an experiment, and the sound is something you can also utilize, especially when you are maybe not feeling so much. And start from the breath. So it's not about jumping into, but start from the breath, and then allow that to just have a little bit more sound, and then allow it to build from that space of openness and relaxation. Anna says, I feel tingling in my yoni. Marion says, thanks for no shame and just do it. Yvonne, tingling up to my heart. I don't know, really exciting. Lots of shares coming in. Beautiful. Annabelle started to feel turned on and had to do it quietly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shame for my neighbors. Nice. Opening, hot flushes, aliveness. Yeah, it feels like faking an orgasm. That's the thing. It's like certain things you want to do almost. My daughter and man are upstairs. Nice. Scared of it too loud. Juicy tingling all over. I'm getting hungry. Okay, sweet. Nice. Faking an orgasm, the thing is that when you really allow it to come from the breath and you do it gradually, it's going to start feeling less like faking, because you just begin to invite. It's like starting from where you're at and then just inviting a little bit more opening, a little bit more opening, a little bit more opening, a little bit more opening. And one thing that is really amazing for not faking anything is that you can actually use the breath and sound together in a certain way. And I didn't share this in the first training, so you guys are lucky to get this right now. It's a really powerful tool, especially for women, also for men, but which is that when you inhale, you feel whatever is present in your body. And when you exhale, you give that breath and sound. And so that might not feel or look like or sound like what we just did, but it might be more just like, I'm going to just check this in this moment, what comes when I do this. I'm breathing in and feeling. You see, so now I was just breathing and giving a sound to whatever was happening in my body, and together with movement and sound. And so that's another way of doing it. And then you can begin to ride the wave once you have released a little bit. And so beautiful. Nice. And Dagmar says, oh my God, and this after 10 seconds, body moving in all directions and lots of release of tension, laughing, feeling just so juicy now. Adelina, let the neighbors enjoy and get used to pleasure. Exactly. Yeah. And it's not faking. Like a really good orgasm, it opens up my body. So I feel even more present and energized. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this. So that's how you can also utilize sound, by inhaling and feeling and exhaling and allowing it to move in this way. Okay, before we go on, I'm just going to take a moment of spraying. By the way, if you are in Bali, you can get these beautiful aura sprays. I'm not affiliated, I just love these. It's like grounding and letting go. This one is a bit like cinnamony. It has crystal infused water as well. So these kind of things also increasing orgasm potential. If you're spending time in front of a computer, take these moments of breathing and rinsing, breathing and rinsing. You can do this when you're in the bathroom. You can do this when you're sitting, even just like a little gentle massage of your body. It's really beautiful. A few deep breaths. These kind of things are what really opens up the space. Essential oils are amazing. I'm a big Young Living fan. This is really good. Nice. Okay, and get a bit of an extra rosy glow as well. Where do you buy them? If you come to Bali, you can buy them like everywhere in all the healthy cafes and shops and places. Just maybe Google Bali Pura. I don't know if you can get them anywhere else. Anyway, this is not a commercial break. On to secret number 4. Are you ready for secret number 4? How are you enjoying this so far? Okay, so moving on to secret number 4, which is movement together with expanded sensory experience. Movement together with expanded sensory experience is key number 4. And what this means is that together with the breath and together with circulating the energy, together with the sound, you allow yourself to move as you do this. And the key here is that you allow yourself to open your senses when you do this. So for example, if you are listening to music, you can allow the music to move through you. If you're making love and there's music playing, and together with your lover, you can ride the wave of the rhythm of the music and feel the sound vibrations enter you. So again, it's a quality of receiving life, of being penetrated. And if you're making love or you self-pleasure, and same thing with music, if you self-pleasure, but if you self-pleasure in nature, allow the sounds of nature to move you. So breathing in the sounds, the smells, breathing in the light, breathing in the darkness. It's amazing if you do this in darkness and feel the darkness entering you. One of the most amazing experiences I ever had was when I, a couple of years ago, spent 7 days in complete darkness, meditating and doing a lot of breath work and tantric practices. And I had such incredible openings and third eye activations, and started being able to see energy bodies and these kind of things. And so breathing in the light, breathing in the darkness, breathing in the touch, and allowing all of this to move you. And you can also connect to the elements here. So you can allow yourself to move as water. You can allow yourself to move as fire, surrendering to flow, feeling yourself as the earth. And so movement and expanded sensory experience. When you are self-pleasuring, feel yourself moving and breathing into your skin, just feeling everything around you and inside you. When you're with a lover, rather than just focus, I mean, of course, also be present with your partner when you're making love, or your partners if you're exploring with multiple. Feel that, and at the same time feel bigger, and allow that to be like a lovemaking in and of itself. You feel bigger and you allow the experience to enter you. So right now, as I'm just leaning back a little bit here, I can see the sunlight through the window over there on the other side, and I'm allowing that connection 8 light minutes away to the sun to enter me, and I'm allowing all of this to enter me, and the smells of the essential oils. And that is an incredible, beautiful source of energy as well. So let me know in the chat how this resonates for you. Oh, David says, love your teachings. Where did you do Darkness Retreat? I did it in Delhi together with my dear friend and teacher Shashi Saluna. And at the time, it was also co-taught by Kobe, and I don't think that he's giving it anymore, but Shashi's doing them annually, usually in October, I think, or November in India, and I actually feel called to do it again. But I also want to do like 2 or 3 weeks alone in darkness to do this. It's an incredible experience. Okay, so let me know how this resonates for you. Great, couple of breaths. And then moving into secret number 5. Secret number 5, the 5th and final one. So it better be a good one, right? So secret number 5 is what I call edging 2.0. Edging 2.0. So before I go into that, let me know in the chat how many of you, oh yeah, Wild Thunder might also have a darkness retreat. If you message me or if you email me, I can send you some information about that as well. So before I explain what this is, I want to check in with you. How many of you are already familiar with the concept of edging? How many of you are already familiar with the concept of edging? Just to get a bit of a temperature check on the room here. Not familiar with? Beautiful. So the teacher that I was mentioning, who led the darkness retreat, it's a dear friend of mine. Her name is Shashi Saluna. You never heard of it? Not familiar? No. Sweet. Nice. No, Adelina. Okay, cool. Nice. And the previous one was more of like a half and half. A lot of women are familiar. Dagmar, yes. Annabelle, not familiar. Anna, yes. Okay, and I know a lot of women. Mira, not familiar. Cecilia, we are. Okay, cool. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Nice. Okay, cool. So I'm excited to share this with you. So what is edging, first of all? So edging. So the standard way that most people do orgasm, and I'm going to generalize here, but I think this is pretty true. The way most people do orgasm is that you build the excitement and the arousal. And usually you build it kind of close just in the genitals, where you condense the pleasure and the energy, and you build towards a peak where you like increase, you reach a peak, you go over the edge, you come, and then the energy goes down. Or maybe you have a few of those, and some people can have one and then have a few more. Versus edging, which means that you begin to build the energy. And as you begin to get closer to orgasm, maybe at 60%, 80%, 90%, the more you do this, the closer you can get. You build the energy, and just where you would normally go for the full thing, you then begin to ease off. You chill out for a bit, you let it expand, and then you begin to build it again, and you chill out, and you expand, and you build it again. And you do this like 5-10 times. And so instead of having one peak, you now begin to ride these waves. And the cool thing is that what happens when you practice edging is an expansion of your energy pathways, because rather than just going here and then down again, you go here and then a little bit down, you go here a little bit higher and then down, a little bit higher and then down. And so there's an expansion of your energy pathways that happens. And now the danger with edging is that it can increase tension inside your genitals. And so this is what you asked before about when you were sharing, I forgot your name, who it was who was sharing, but about how when you experience orgasm, you tense your pelvis, you tense your butt, you tense your genitals, and it can even cause pain. The danger with edging is if you only do this with a genital focus, it brings in a ton of contraction in the body, and it also makes you very kind of contracted, and it can also create agitation and almost like a drug-like addiction where you just need more, like the next fix, a bit more edging, a bit more edging. very similar energy to almost like in porn, where there's a lot of like contraction and excitement, but not that much openness and connection. And so edging 2.0 is what happens when you combine edging and surrender, and edging and all of the other keys that I have already shared. And so edging is what happens when you bring it from being genitally focused to really have, in between and throughout your breath, just have this breath, sound, and movement, as well as feeling yourself as the element, breathing through your entire body. And so rather than building it and easing off, building it in genitals, you begin to expand and you feel this wave through your entire body. And so the more you do this, the more the energy begins to build in your entire system, where every cell gets flooded with life energy and vitality. And rather than just building it in the genitals, you build it and allow it to rise everywhere, not just in your physical body, but bigger than your physical body. And when you do this, you increase your capacity for circulating pleasure inside your body. So instead of overheating your genitals, you conduct that energy through your entire body. And when you practice edging, which is this expansion, easing off, building, easing off, building, easing off. And the cool thing is that your orgasmic threshold begins to raise, such that before long, or with practice and with doing this, at some point you'll be able to sustain for a longer period of time a much higher aroused state for a sustained amount of time than you previously experienced for a few seconds when you just went to peak and let it release. And so what this means specifically for women as well is a lot about moving from the clitoral surface level orgasm deeper inside, G-spot orgasm, cervical orgasm, full body orgasm. Doesn't mean you can never have a clit orgasm, it just means that you expand way deeper than that orgasm and full body experiences. And so this happens when you practice edging 2.0. That's this thing. Yes, thanks to share this name. Interesting to experience. Adelina says, I knew it as riding the waves of peak and valleys. Exactly. And edging, that just referring is going closer and closer to the edge of orgasm, but then it's like you're edging your way there. And yes, when you do edging, what happens also is riding those waves of peaks and valleys, and you can begin to tap into. And when you know about sexual vitality qigong and Taoist practices and tantric breathwork, then you can really begin to tap into orgasms that can last for minutes, sometimes hours even. Beautiful. And are your thoughts and visualizations important in this process? You can play with that, but you can totally just really stay on the level of sensation. And more than anything, I would recommend that you really play with this and explore it for yourself. Okay, my love, so those are the 5 keys. Number 1, mastery of your breath. Number 2, energy activation, circulation, and sublimation. Number 3, sound as an open pathway from your sex to your mouth. And back down again. 4, movement and expanded sensory experience together. And 5, edging 2.0. Beautiful. So let's just take a couple of breaths. I'm going to have a sip of water. If you have anything to drink, then you can take this now. Allow yourself to sink deeper into this. And next, we're moving into how to have an energy breath orgasm. Specific method, you call it. You guys, get ready to take this in. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, because we're not going to do it together. That would be like way too deep for an online thing. This is something that I really teach more in depth in my live retreats, but I'm going to give you guys a formula so you can play with it also. And I want to check in with you guys to, again, get a feel for the room. How many of you have ever breathed yourself into orgasm or experienced an energy breath orgasm? Maybe that's a better way of asking it, just to get a sense of this. Okay, and as you're sharing that, I'm going to give you the formula. And so this doesn't mean that this is the only way of exploring this, because many can work. And the more you do this, the more it just opens naturally and happens spontaneously. But this is a formula that really works really, really well. Okay, beautiful. So the step one is to really open your breath, is to come once again from relaxation. Okay, getting a whole mix of never, once by accident or meditation, yes, I wish, not yet, yes, and take my partner with me. Okay, beautiful, sweet. So there's a whole mix there again. Okay, nice. Nice. So first step is to open your breath. When you've done that, you want to begin to breathe up through the chakras in loops. And so what this means is that you begin to breathe first into your root, and then you begin to create a loop between the first and second chakra. And you breathe in that kind of way. It's like a mini circle that happens. And then you allow that to expand and expand and expand, and then you bring it up into only the sacral center, and then you expand it into including the sacral center and your solar plexus, number 2 and 3, and you loop in there and you allow that to expand, and then bring it all into solar plexus, and then you allow it to expand into solar plexus and heart. So it's like two chakras together and then one, two chakras together and then one, two chakras together and then one. You keep on kind of staircasing your way up like this, and then heart and throat together. Throat and third eye and crown, and you breathe your way in this kind of sequence all the way up to your crown. And when you move all the way up to your crown, you can take some breaths into the full circle, into the full orbit from the root to the crown, to just connect and complete all of them. And when you've done that, you want to take about 20 or 30, so I usually do about 28 faster breaths. So when you've done this, and usually the tempo increases gradually. So you know how you felt after those like 1 minute or 2 minutes of open mouth connected breathing? By this time, you've probably been doing this for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe longer. You can do this with music as well. It's really beautiful. Take about 28 faster breaths. You can breathe through your nose, you can breathe through your mouth, whatever helps you to charge, to really supercharge the energy, and followed by 3, what's called a clench and hold, which means that you take a deep breath in, you hold and you clench either your entire body just for like 2 seconds or something like that, a few, maybe 5 seconds at most. You clench everything, or you can just clench your pelvic floor, engage, hold it for a moment, and then you open and surrender and let your body move. Then you breathe in, condense the energy, condense everything for a moment, and then you release, and one more time in and hold the breath, and then you open, surrender, let your body just move however it does. And that clench and hold is a really powerful way for like boom, gathering the energy and then letting it go again, gathering the energy and letting it go, gathering the energy. You can hold it a little bit longer the last time, and then letting it go, and then just allow your body and your breath to do whatever it does naturally. Trust the instinct of your body, and that you are so much more orgasmic than you think. And that is the formula. And so this is something you can do with a partner, but I would actually recommend doing it by yourself, especially in the beginning when you're exploring this. And to do it together in groups is incredibly powerful, both in the ecstatic awakening retreat as well as in my women's retreats. I teach this process, and it's fucking amazing what happens, because the cool thing with the breath is that it's not only that you can breathe yourself into an orgasm, but you also really get in touch with your inspiration and your genius and your openness. It's really, really, really beautiful. And Amika is asking, is clench another word for contracting, holding? Exactly. You could call it gathering or something like that, but it's a quality of engaging your muscles and then releasing. So there will be like a pumping of your entire body when you do this. Okay, Leah, let's have an energy breath orgasm with an active meditation. Beautiful. Great. I love what you're sharing. It also brings in so much awareness of how it's not just confined to sex, but you can have an energy orgasm on the dance floor or in yoga or in breath work. Beautiful. All right, ladies. Just a little shake. I'm gonna have that. Let's see. Let's do the other one. Actually, I want to do this. It's more of a Manipura chakra essential oil. It's really beautiful. So as you can see, I'm just tuning into taking care of the vitality. Feel free to do whatever you need to do to stay connected. I only have water with me here right now, but maybe you have a chai or something else yummy. Take a moment and feel your body. Because I love, love, love these practices. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and good thing to first do it alone. Exactly. Anamik is asking, is it more easy to get an energy orgasm while sitting to begin with? No, not necessarily. You can lay down. If you're sleepy, I would recommend not laying down. You can be standing. You can even do this standing, especially if you're barefoot on the earth. Really beautiful. If you're in front of a waterfall, it's really powerful. Sometimes I've done this standing in the ocean with the waves crashing into me, or in a river. You can lay down. You can even be on all fours. And what I would recommend is to let your body move. You might start sitting, and then at some point you might feel like laying down. At some point your body might naturally come up. You might come onto all fours, even more like a cat-cow position, and then breathe from there, which is really beautiful as well. So just trust that. So no specific position. And of course in lovemaking, no specific position either. Although doing this process when you're sitting on top, when you're riding a partner, is really amazing too. Beautiful for him to witness as well if you're with a male partner. Okay, so moving on to the number one mistake even super orgasmic women make, and why pleasure can actually throw you off balance if you don't master this one key. And I want to check in with you ladies. Have you ever had this experience where you have amazing sex, or you have an ecstatic experience? It might be that you go to ecstatic dance, or you go out dancing, or you have powerful breathwork session or something, and you feel this incredible sense of expansion, ecstatic, open, and it's like great, and you're super high, but you feel totally ungrounded and super. I've had this experience, especially with new lovers. Although, before I really started practicing this, it was also happening with Gabriel, and where we would have super wild sex, and I would feel amazing and like really, fucked open. But then afterwards, just feel like so out of it and really not knowing how to handle it. So let me know if you've had that experience of that pleasure and ecstasy can actually throw you off balance. Just so I know if this is relevant for you guys. Okay, yeah, great. Cool, so I'm not the only one. Sweet. And the chat, by the way, might be coming in slightly delayed for you in case you don't see anything immediately. You can see, okay, sweet resonance, nice. Okay, so the key to solve this is refining sexual energy practice. Yeah, out of my own connection with myself, for sure. Yes. Okay, cool. Nice. Refining sexual energy. So in the Taoist tradition, there are 3 kinds of sexual energy. And I'll put them in the chat so you can see what they're called. Jing Qi, Qi, and Shen. Jing Qi, Qi, and Shen. And Jing Qi is your raw primal life force. So your raw primal sexual energy. This is centered around the lower dantian. The lower energy center is around your pelvis, your sex center, your belly. If you are low on Jing Qi, you're very lethargic. It's like you can't get up in the morning, you can't take action. It's just like a feeling of heaviness. And you don't feel like you can take action in life. And when you have full Jing Qi, you feel empowered, you feel alive, and there's this life energy with a sexual undertone. So somebody who has a lot of Jing Qi, you can feel that they're like activated. And there's, even if they're not talking or flirting in a sexual way, there's almost like this sexual, you can almost feel it, taste it in their vibration. And this is something that I've had reflected to me as well a lot. Just when I'm not really doing anything, that this is what is coming through, is this Jing Qi life force energy. And then we have the energy of Qi, which is vitality and radiance. This is centered around the heart and around the lungs in our organs. And Jing Qi also related to the solar plexus, that action taking. So Qi, vitality, radiance, heart energy. And when Qi is low, you feel really dull and lifeless. It's like you can enter a room and you completely unnoticed. It's like somebody who like isn't even there. And it's related to emotions as well. And when you have low Qi or stuck Qi, then blocked up Qi, then you have a lot of emotional instability. You can feel a lot of agitation and just things not flowing. And when your Qi is full, then you are naturally glowing. You're naturally glowing, you're radiant, you're charismatic, and naturally attractive. You know, there's a natural allure to this. And there's a lot of emotional openness and flow. So you can laugh, you can cry. It's not a feeling of condensing into one spectrum, but you can allow emotions. That is a quality of open Qi. And then Shen is the energetic quality of consciousness. Shen is centered around the upper centers. You know, the throat is a bridge here, but Shen is centered around the third eye and the crown and the space above. And it's the quality of awareness. And so when Shen is low or blocked, there can be a lot of mind chatter, of feeling foggy, contracted mind, a lot of overthinking. And when Shen is full and balanced, then your mind is quiet, spacious, aware. You feel connected to life and to source and inspiration. And when there can also be an imbalance. So for example, you might have a lot of Shen, but no Qi or no Jing Qi. And this is when you feel somebody who's like spiritually open, but totally ungrounded. They might say spiritually amazing things that seem like truth, like, yes, you're like, you are awareness, but they're totally ungrounded and they can't take action in their life. They can't make money. That's a very clear sign of imbalance. Or you might have a lot of Jing Qi, but no Shen. So you're physically really activated, you're really dense, and you're totally not aware, etc. So you see how this is beginning to open into the relevance for your life. Beautiful. And there are specific and really amazing and beautiful practices to open all of these and have a harmonious flow. You can activate Jing Qi, sublimate it into Qi, sublimate it into Shen, and allowing that to drip down again. And there are different ways to circulating and activating this. And this is an incredibly powerful practice, and it's probably the one thing that I see missing in the most Tantra retreats. And it's really important to really get the nuances and details right with this practice because they're so powerful. And, you know, it almost feels kind of mean to just mention them because they're just too in-depth and advanced to really share here. Again, I teach them in my live retreats, and you can also find it being taught by Taoist teachers, especially those trained on the Mantak Chiya, which is where my main training comes from. And when you combine this with the yoginic practice, then you get even more of these effects, plus more sensitivity, strength, tension release, and orgasmic openness in your pussy. And so again, if this is something that you want to learn, then come to me or seek out another teacher and begin to practice this, because it's fucking amazing what opens up. When you really begin to master this, you will get increased ability to make money, to take action, feel really emotionally balanced and open. Doesn't mean emotionally flatline, but that you're able to flow with everything. And it's also really amazing to use after making love and after ecstatic dance. It's something that I often use after I've gone dancing, and sometimes also after me and Gabriel have been making love, and sometimes we sit together after we have had sex and we do these refining sexual energy practices together, which is amazing because then we can really go out into the world, and I can create these kind of things in retreats and online courses and be there for people. So when all of this is imbalanced, and the effects are, and there's more than this, but these are the clearest ones that I can see, is that you're sexually open and activated, which feels like this connection to your untamed instinct and raw primal sexual power. It's really grounding and empowering, and at the same time you feel alive, vital, healthy, filled up from the inside. And this comes out as this natural radiance. And your mind is quiet, which means that you have access to intelligence, inspiration, and wisdom to come through. Like, for example, for this masterclass training, I set the intention, I got the title as a download, but then I didn't really think about it at all. It was just when I was in the shower or meditating or something, I would just get the downloads, but like, this is the first key, this is the second one. It all just came as inspiration, and I just had to write it down so that I can share it with you. I just had to take notes so that I could keep, track of the things that I want to share, but there was no effort involved. This all just came as a flow, and that's how pretty much all my creations come, is by being in that state. And so when this is in balance and all of this is flowing in an integrated whole where you have access to guidance and inspiration, as well as the ability to ground it into action, and you have this beautiful emotional balance, health, radiance, and effortless, attractive force to you. And so I just want to check in the chat here. Does this resonate with you? And is this something that you would love to learn, or that you would love to learn more? And the technique, let me put this into the chat as well, is the practice of refining sexual energy. And there are a lot of different ways you can do this. Beautiful, getting a lot of yeses. Yeah, it's incredible. It's like, I can't believe that they don't teach this. Beautiful. Great. Yes, definitely. Love this, love this. Great. Okay. Yeah, great. And fill yourself up, rejuvenate, be in nature, especially making love in nature, running, walking, all these things are so beautiful. Yoni egg practices, all of these are also really balancing together with this refining sexual energy practice. And it's pretty cool. Again, I wish we had more time together, because I would love to teach you, but then again, that's an impetus for coming and learning more live. Big yes. Yes, lots of yeses. Claire, big yes. Hey, Claire. Nice. Okay, sweet. So what are the side effects that you can imagine from embodying more of your orgasmic energy? And let's have a little brainstorm together here. And so there are some obvious things that, you feel more orgasmic. You feel more orgasmic, you feel more pleasure in your own life and with a partner. But what are some other things? We already mentioned like emotional balance, especially when you learn these refining sexual energy practices. More emotional openness, joy, creativity. What else? How would you see this affect your love life, for example? Could you imagine that this would take your intimacy to both in lovemaking, but also just in your intimacy, your love and your connection with one another, when you are more open and balanced in this way? Okay, Manuk, I'm seeing a really beautiful question, and so I would love to, I'm just marking this one to go into towards the end of the Q&A, because they have a longer one. I love that you're asking this. Nice. Okay, so what are some other things that you could see that this could have side effects into intimacy? And health, health, vitality, creativity. And what about money and manifestation? Because one of the missing links for so many people is the link between sexual energy and making money and manifestation. And I'm not talking about making money by, like having sex with people or stripping or something like that, unless that's truly your calling. But I'm talking about just harnessing that life force, that life energy. Unconditional love in daily life, says Caroline. Beautiful. So what else? More radiant and more manifesting. Beautiful. Nice. What else? What else? What would be some of the side effects of mastering this more and more? Increasing money flow. Nice. Okay, sweet. Message is coming in. All right. Nice. Okay, so this is a perfect segue into the missing link between pleasure and manifestation, and the most natural key to realizing your big dreams with the use of orgasmic energies. Are you ready for this one? Yeah, getting myself natural instead of pushing, allowing the inspired actions to follow through. Beautiful, I love this. Okay, cool. So first of all, sexual energy is pure life force. Sexual energy is pure life force. It is what created you and what created everything. And so let's have a moment of meditation for yourself. meditating on this. Gonna go on a little journey together. Feel yourself as the sperm and the egg, the seeds of your DNA, before they came together. It'd be really cool if we had super conscious memories, and maybe some of you do, but just imagine yourself high-speed reverse time lapse into before you were born, before you were even an embryo, before this, just that potential for life force energy. And then in your mind's eye, visualize the moment of coming together, this cosmic explosion of pleasure that resulted in you, that one moment of coming together that then created the cell division, catalyzed the entire process, became a baby, came out of your mother's womb, and then has a life of its own, with consciousness downloaded. And here you are sitting here watching this webinar, or laying or dancing, watching this webinar. Just feel the potency of this. And women, you who are pregnant, and you also, oops. This happened in the first training as well. I have my computer set on a higher little box thing here to just bring it up to the right height. Whew. So again, I hope you weren't hurt in that momentary fall. So yeah, with that energy activation from the computer falling down, just feeling the energy activation of you and the orgasmic manifestation that you are. And then we are going into components of orgasmic manifestation. First component is energetic activation. There's a lot of fuel in orgasm. Second component is focus, the focusing of that energy. When you focus your orgasmic energy, especially in manifestation and with intention, it's like an energetic laser beam into the universe. And it literally affects the quantum field way more than it does when you're just meditating on something, or you're thinking about something, or you're writing your affirmation on your bathroom mirror. It's like this is supercharging all of that. Then the third component is surrender. Surrender to flow and to the universe, which means that you get access to higher guidance and insight and intuition. So if you have a certain fixed idea of what it's going to look like or how it's going to come to you, this is not going to work. So it's like activating, setting an intention, and then surrendering, letting go, and knowing that it's either going to be this or something even better, something even more aligned. Like my friend Tiger Singleton says, is trust that it's either going to be this or something even more badass. And so just trusting that, surrender to the flow. And the fourth component is that this allows us, orgasmic energy allows you to enter into the space before the mind. Before the mind. So when you're really experiencing this, you're not thinking. Lovemaking, dancing, breathwork, all of this serve to drop us deeper than the mind. And this is where you get access to inspiration and ideas that you didn't previously had. Every amazing idea you've ever had, there was a point when you didn't have them yet. And so this really gives access to that more and more and more and more. And the more you ground it into action, the more new ideas keep on coming. It's a really important key as well. And then what are we on now? Like fifth component, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, fifth component is gratitude and love. Gratitude and love when you're in that space of surrender and connection with life. And when you're in that space of gratitude and love, that means that you are energetically aligned and with receiving and with the highest good and the benefit of all. So you're in that space just trusting, that this is that I'm giving is for the benefit of all, and you're in that space of communion with life. So energetic activation, focusing that energy, surrendering to the flow of the universe, entering into the space before the mind, gratitude and love, energetically aligned with receiving, and bringing all of that together with your intention. And there are really amazing practices you can do as well, which I guide both in my online courses. Right now, we're in the middle of guiding the Abundant Passionpreneur program. We do a lot of these kind of intention manifestation things as well, especially when we come together live, which we'll do soon in Amsterdam. And I will teach this is a big part of my deepening retreats. It's really amazing. It's really fun. And you start seeing how things that you've been like trying to manifest for a long time is suddenly just starting to happen. And so this brings me into what I want to share next, is that orgasmic manifestation works on 2 levels. First of all, what was the first component? The first component was energetic activation, that you have a lot of fuel. Okay, beautiful. So this works on 2 levels. It works on the level of energy and quantum flow. So you activate the law of attraction, you could say, so that the people, places, circumstances, and synchronicities start showing up. And it also works on the level of action. Because when you have a bigger amount of energy running through you, and you know how to refine that energy so that you can feel this beautiful inner harmony and balance, then you feel an ease in taking action on them. So for example, maybe you want to do something and it feels like you don't have the money for it. Maybe there's a course you want to do, or you want to have coaching, or you want to travel somewhere. And then suddenly with this, an idea comes to you and you act on it, and voila, you just start making more money. Or suddenly all those things that you've been wanting or trying to create for a long time, they just begin to happen. Let me know if that sounds good to you. So there's this ease of taking action. And it's kind of like cosmic surfing. So it's being in tune with the flow of life and catching the wave when it comes and then riding it. Because what most people do is they just try to ride the wave when there isn't the wave. They just like want to like force things and have it happen like yesterday and just push. Or people are just watching the waves come, and go and disappear, but they're not actually getting on them. And so what I'm talking about here is called living in flow, living in quantum flow. And so with that, we have covered orgasmic manifestation, the 3 different kinds of sexual energy, and refining them, the importance of refining sexual energy, and the 5 keys to 10xing your orgasm. And I have to say, they're all Yogini approved. And out of all of this, I want to ask you, this is super useful for me to tune in because it's so different for all of you. It's what has been the most valuable insight for you so far? And would you love to learn this? Maybe you have some training in this already, but if not, or if you want to go deeper, would you love to? Let me know in the chat, what has been your most valuable insight thus far in our time together? Great. Let's do the other one now. The 3rd. Grounding. Nice. So what has been the most valuable insight for you so far of all the ones that I have shared? Okay, sweet. So Lyle says, coming in with a bit of a delay here for me. Yes, thank you so much for those keys, Ronja, and for the second meeting. Yeah, beautiful flow. Welcome. One says, yes, I find it really interesting to note that there are 3 forms of sexual energy. Caroline says, sexual energy impact on everything. Adelina, orgasmic manifestation. Anna says that my sexual energies are out of balance and what impact it has on everything in my life. Yeah, it can be a kind of a rude awakening, but it's really good to find out and about how to refine energy. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't actually go into so much of how to do it, but just that it's incredibly important. And so I would highly recommend that you find a way to learn this. And then it says, I'd like to learn to use orgasmic energy. Debbie, I'm very inspired to deepen my practice in the transformational breathing and balance out of the chi. Okay, Lyle, for me too. I didn't know about the 3 energies. Yeah, super. I mean, just like crazy that we don't learn about these kind of things in school. It's so important. Hi, the orgasmic manifestation, such a connection, so powerful. I'd love to learn more the importance of breath work and see 3 forms of sexual energy. Tina, nice. Love that you covered so much. We would love to learn more about the breath work and how to liberate blockages. Mira, it can select your whole life. Celia, that I can manifest through breathing into my sexual energy. So yes, oxytocin and this energy, beautiful flow. Self-love, power, center, blossom, self-confidence. Eve says, I love you, Anya. Meow. Okay, beautiful. I know a few different Eves. I'm curious which one it is that is on here right now. Maybe you can give me a hint if we have met or not. Okay, beautiful. Shima says, I love how you bring the different keys together. It invites such deep simplicity and mastery. Thank you for your loving generosity. Yeah, beautiful. And Debis is realizing that I have to do the work with sexual energy to increase the flow of my business. Okay, cool. Lots of shares coming in. Thank you so much for sharing. It's really, really beautiful feedback for me as well. Yeah, thank you, Anmike. Nice. Big wake-up call for me to incorporate the magic of breath in my life, personally and in sex. Okay, nice. Okay, beautiful. And so in the last hour, you've probably received more sexual, orgasmic, spiritual, and manifestation exercise, or not exercise, education, than most people do, like, in their entire life. Most people do in their entire life. And so the question is now, where do you go from here? And I've been tuning into how do we make the bridge into our life. And when I sense into you, when I've been tuning into you who are here right now and all the women who are on this call, then what I can sense, there's basically two different kinds of women. And I will try and describe this to you. And you, as I say this, tune in for yourself to see which one you resonate with the most. And so woman number one, if you're woman number one, then you are interested and you're personally committed. And so if you're woman number one, then you're like, wow, yeah, this sounds great. And you feel this deep resonance. And you might be taking notes, and you might go and experiment with the tools that you receive. You might go on YouTube and you might find videos on how to open your sexual energy or learn about manifestation. And so you're kind of on this path and you're personally committed. And woman number two, you also do everything pretty much that woman number one would do, but the difference is that you are, what I would say, is like all in, meaning that you're committed to going way deeper, way faster than almost anybody does in their lifetime. And with that, there's this natural hunger to study with teachers and with guides and travel to places and, study with people who can really take you there. And so woman number two, it's more this feeling of you travel the world to wherever life calls you. You design your life as this adventure where you can get to discover so much more of yourself, and you're in this continuous flow of transformation, and you're in this, either you're in the process of or you're committed to manifesting a life which, when you look back a year or two from now, or even just a few months from now, your life is barely recognizable to you. And then imagine doing that for a lifetime. And so can you see how woman number one and woman number two get to have quite different lives? And I want to check in with you. Which one do you resonate with? And I'm saying this as much as I can. Of course, it's a bit of a value thing. Of course, I'm definitely having this feeling of this is your life. Go for it fully. But I want to check in. Which one do you feel that you are? Because there are a lot of women who are number one, and that's totally fine, because it might not be in everybody's theme to just go this fully for life. But which one calls you the most? Which one would feel the most fulfilling for you? And by the way, there's also like a woman number three who isn't doing any of this, but is, living in unconsciousness, who doesn't know about this stuff, but she probably isn't even on this call, so not really worth going into. Okay, Getting a lot of twos here. Caroline 2, Adelina 2, Vidla 2, Debbie definitely number 2. Beautiful. Okay, so a lot of more women are in. Just write in the chat which one you feel that you resonate with. And this brings me into what I wanted to share with you, which is the most beautiful and deepest offering that I've ever created for women in my life. And I don't know in what other lifetimes, but this is it. So there is one place where we teach all of this, where we teach all of these practices, and also way more than I can even go in. Again, we've gone for like an hour and a half together now. It's a really short time together. And this has been a process over the last 9 months where I knew I wanted to birth something. So just a wink to you pregnant women, this is different kind of birthing. A lot of two still coming in. Lyle says, thank you for your generous teaching and inspiration, Ronja. My heart is dancing, feeling those knowledges more and more accessible to women everywhere in the world, living their whole. Yes. Okay, lots of number 2s. Okay, cool. So what I'm about to share is definitely not for all women. It's not for woman number 1. It's not for woman number 3. But for you, if you want to master these orgasmic practices and experience being exquisitely guided through breathwork, different kinds of breathwork, learn orgasmic manifestation so you can super accelerate your life in a really grounded and enjoyable way, learn to refine sexual energy, which takes your life and your love life to a whole new level, and activate into your priestess. And when I say priestess, I'm not talking about anything religious at all. I'm simply talking about the full unlocked you in your potential. And what I want to emphasize here is that you are already this. And so when we do the practices together and you begin to open up into this, it will feel simultaneously like a remembering, like coming home. Like, oh God, I know this. I just forgot about it for a bit. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this. And it will also feel like an opening up into something that's completely new. Like, wow, I've never experienced this. I didn't even know that this was possible. And so that's what's been birthing for the last 9 months. And I booked the dates and the venue for this event last August. But then since then, it's been a deep process of downloading all the parts. Because I wanted to do something. I knew I wanted to do something that has never been done before by me and in the world. And so I had to give space for that process, a lot of breath work. And my mind kind of wanted to say, like, it's too late, it's not going to work. You know, we just launched this a week ago, pretty much exactly. And it's happening in just a month. And so my mind wanted to say, like, it's too late, it's not going to work, forget about it, cancel, do it next year. But every time I checked in, my guidance was just saying, manifestation doesn't take time, it just takes alignment. And then what happened is that we launched this event just a week ago, and I have never had these many applications in the first 1 day alone. So women writing to us and saying that they were feeling the yes. One saying, like, I instantly knew. Several women just having tears of gratitude when reading the invitation. And now, since the training a couple of days ago, the first webinar we had on this, it's doubled again, like the amount of applications we got in and the women who are confirmed for it as well. And so I want to check with you if you want to hear about it. Again, only if you're interested, otherwise you can just wrap up here. But this has just been incredible. I'm kind of still blown away by it because I've been feeling it's the deepest process I've ever had in terms of creating something and just trusting it, going for it. And it's also a co-creation together with 3 of my dearest sisters in life, 3 of the most amazing women that I've ever met, which is also just in a meditation. And if any of you are watching right now, then I want to just say this to you, that you 3, you came to me in a meditation really clearly as this with me, and you 3 is like this beautiful grid work connected thing. Debbie says yes. Cecilia, Wilhelmine, yes. Anna, yes. Annabelle, yes. Anna, yes. Emilia, yes. Beautiful. Caroline, yes. Okay, cool. That's a lot. I take that as a yes. Okay, so ladies, so I am going to show you this in a way where I'm going to be sharing my screen with you for a moment. And I'm just going to go into full screen and then share my screen with you. And so we're just going to have like a moment of infinity. Going to just have like a moment of infinity screen happening. Yes, there you can see, now you can kind of see what I'm seeing with an infinity loop. And then I'm going to head on over to another tab where I have this open. Okay. So welcome to the Hidden Paradise Ultimate Goddess Retreat. The Hidden Paradise Ultimate Goddess Retreat. And the mountains that you're seeing right now are actually the mountains that we're going to be in. So ready? Let's begin. So I'm going to take you through a part of the invitation for this. So just allow this to be breathed into your being, and knowing that in the same way that your life has guided you through this life, you may or may not know exactly why you signed up for this webinar today, and maybe you received exactly what you wanted, and that's perfect. And that's amazing, you know, that purpose has been fulfilled. And this is the invitation into the deepening experience, all of this, and into a life where you get everything that you desire. So the Hidden Paradise Ultimate Goddess Retreat is 7 days to activate pleasure most women only dream of, experience higher states of consciousness, activate light codes, return to sexual innocence, feel supported and guided through everything that you create, learn orgasmic manifestation, and upgrade into the rest of your life. So by the end of your life, you will look back at this as the retreat that changed everything. And so take some deep breaths, allow yourself to receive this, and let's dive in a bit deeper. So the Hidden Paradise Ultimate Goddess Retreat, like I said, is happening in actually a bit less than a month now. 28th of June until the 4th of July, which again was like a very intuitive date setting here in the Hidden Paradise in the southern Spain. This is actually the same venue where we had the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat, the most beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. And your adventure guides for this is myself, Ronja Sebastian, creator of the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat, Essential Bliss Online Temple, and the Abundant Passionpreneur Program. And together with me, I have these three amazing, amazing women. So Crystal Rose, founder of Temple Arts of Love, she and I were actually in the Darkness Retreat together in India. We've traveled a lot together, crazy train rides through India, and been together on Ibiza and Bali and Europe and other places. She was also assisting in the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat last year. Claire Costello is one of the most tapped in, awake, multidimensionally in tune women I've ever met. So in terms of activating life codes and opening into your potential, she is the woman for this. Every time I'm in her presence, I feel things unlocking and activating within me. She really holds that space for that unlocking of everything that you came here to live. And she's the creator of Clear Transmissions. Tess van der Putten is the founder of Sensual Flow. She's an incredible yoga teacher, sensual flow teacher. She's also a certified circling and authentic relating facilitator. And so she's just an incredible ally to have, such a beautiful being. It's also her on this photo. Themes of exploration are luxurious goddess massage, sunrise yoga and sensual flow, orgasmic breathwork and orgasmic manifestation, sexual vitality qigong, authentic relating, honesty, and empowered vulnerability, pussy skills, yoni yoga, and inner ripple for powerful, nuanced, gentle, and subtle orgasms, amazing skills for your intimate muscles. Yoni egg practice for grounding, healing, and deep connection to your intimate temple. We'll be doing different kinds of Yoni egg practices for different evenings to already open into that space. Taoist breast massage and activating the diamond pathway, relaxing your voice and activating your deep woman, emotional release, healing, and effortless feeling. This is really cool. Deep, nourishing darkness qigong and 3:33 a.m. crystalline yin night meditation. One night will be up, creating that grid together meditation, dance of feminine embodiment, and more. And so this will ripple out into everything you know, with possible side effects, including, so we come back to the side effects here, of deeper intimacy and more loving connection to yourself and others, relaxation and confidence in situations that previously scared you, calm, easy, radiant beingness, access to higher states of consciousness and more finely attuned intuition, effortlessly make more money, manifest with flow, and so much more. So let me know in the chat if this resonates with you so far. And so imagine waking up surrounded by peaceful silence and nourishing nature. And at sunrise, we gently wake up with sensual flow and finding balance and strength for the day with Vinyasa Yoga, followed by an incredibly delicious breakfast overlooking the gardens, valleys, and mountains. And then we go into different techniques and breath journeys to awaken your orgasmic potential, heal and open your body, allow peace, bliss, and energetic activation where you can access inspiration, ideas, genius, and love. And then nourish your belly with an amazing lunch and refresh your body, relaxing in the sunshine, resting, chilling, hanging out, or having a dip in the pool. And then in the afternoon, we dive into authentic relating, circling, sharing, and also exploration into awareness and expanded consciousness, which is where the source of unshakable inner freedom and space is found. And then dinner and chill, and in the evening we go into very deep restorative practice to replenish your yin and natural radiance. And you can find on the website the sample schedule. Here's Crystal again. You can take more time for yourself to tune into this invitation. I'm just taking some highlights here. And here's a poem that came to me when I was tuning into this, which I'll read to you. And these three women here are dear friends of mine as well. So follow the smell of the rose petals. Follow the pulse of your soul. With one cleansing breath in. And what? Drop your maybes, your masks, your not yets and must do's. Recognizing now that every moment, every experience, every misstep, heartbreak, and deep inner peace, it has all led up to this. Surrendering it all to this orgasmic unfolding, to the deep, boundless love that is already living you. Know that you are consciousness. Live as love. And allow energy and presence to make love in you, through you, and as you in each moment of this unbearably beautiful existence. Just allowing those words to go in, see what you experience inside as we begin to take in some visuals. Just show you a few glimpses of our temple, hidden paradise. So it's high up in the mountains in the south of Spain, and in the distance you can see the ocean. It's incredibly silent, very sunny, pretty much every day of the year, and very clear moon-filled nights and serene silence. And organic, delicious, vegetarian, gluten-free, sugar-free food, of course, high vibe. We have two temple spaces, the Earth Temple and the Spaceship. This is the smaller one that you can see here, but they're both circular, one with wooden floor, one with clay floor, overlooking the mountains and the permaculture gardens. And we have two really beautiful, luxurious swimming pools where you can refresh during the days. It gets quite hot here as well, especially midday. And here's the view from one of the swimming pools. Just imagine being here, looking out. And we'll have plenty of space in between the sessions to really enjoy this as well. Also, let me know in the chat how this is resonating. Can you feel this? You know, when I see this, I really get this visceral sense in my body for all of this. So let me know just how this is resonating for you. And now, you can't actually buy tickets for this. It's kind of an interesting one where I've done it in a different way than before, which is that if you go to the website, you can't buy the tickets, but what you can do is you can apply. And so you can check more details, but I'll share with you the gist of this. The application for the Ultimate Goddess Retreat works like this. To join the Ultimate Goddess Retreat, first fill out the application below. And the application is not to check if you're good enough, but to check if you are ready. And this is for you as well to anchor in your desire and your intention, and for us to know that you're aligned and feel deeply called to this vision. Because this is not your average women's retreat. We have absolutely no desire to get as many women as possible to join this retreat, but rather we want to have a potent group of women who are ready for this depth of this transformation. And it's been incredible reading all of the applications and the things that women are writing, and it's just such deep resonance and women who are like, I've been looking for something like this for years, or I'm going to be in Spain exactly in that moment. So it's like divine timing, or some people who are, you know, rescheduling, canceling things in their life to come to this. And it's like, I just knew women who have been just feeling really touched by this. And we'll take you through a journey that is both deeply opening, pleasurable, healing, nourishing, ecstatic in the moment, as well as give you next level tools and techniques, plus life-altering transformations that will serve you for the rest of your life. And so if you're still here in this webinar training, then you can probably already feel the potency of this retreat. And so just tuning into your body, feeling your cells activating, your inner receptors switching on and becoming open for what is to come. And knowing that you have been intuitively guided here by your own inner wisdom and the part of you that traverses lifetimes, the part of you that was here before the sperm and the egg came together. And so if you feel called to this experience, and that is a clear fuck yes from spirit, and you are meant to be here for this adventure. And now imagine that every other woman who sees this or who hears this in this moment feels the same. And so it is our wish for you that you receive everything that you desire in this lifetime, and that you discover the full unleashed beauty, love, playfulness, lusciousness, and joy that you already are. Breathing that in, and then here on the website, you can then go to the application. And so the application, I'm going to just open this as in a new tab here. The application looks like this. Welcome to the Ultimate Goddess Retreat application. And so you just scroll down, and then there's a little button saying, let's go. And you click start. And then there's the first question. What inspires or excites you the most about the Ultimate Goddess Retreat? So you write your answer, which might be longer than this one, just love. Why do you feel called to join? Everything I'm typing in right now. What's your biggest longing and desire in life right now, etc., etc. What are you hoping to get out of this? Those kind of things. And so there's a deeper sharing, and it's incredible to read all of these. And then after that has happened, then when we have received this, and we read every application, and when we feel that you're ready for this, then you will then receive a welcome email where you get the instructions for actually how to book your ticket. Instructions sounds, it's a link. It's a straight up link that you click. And there are two different links. One is if you want to get your ticket all at once, you just pay your ticket all at once. And one is if you want to split it into 3 parts, which comes to a little bit more because of admin costs, but that's basically how we have made it available. And so the full price for the retreat is 1,497 euros Food and accommodation is on top of that. It's just a couple of hundred, it's just a few €100. It's really super amazing, affordable. But the price for the retreat is $14.97. And right now, as we speak, as I'm shooting this, we are in the early bird phase, which means that it's a €200 discount. But what I did for the webinar the other day, and what I want to do for you here as well, to really honor you and to have the same chance, to have the same thing, to have it be really equal, is that I have created an extended €400 discount, which means that either you get your full ticket at once for $1,097, or you can split it into 3 parts, and then the first payment, the first out of the 3, is just €149. And so when I was tuning into this, in terms of, usually people ask for personal discounts and these kind of things, and honestly, I'm not really resonating with that quality, because we want you to come into a place where you can create anything you want in life, where money is never an obstacle, where it's really coming down to what can you create? How can you do this? I've been talking about this a lot in the entrepreneurship course. What can you create? How can you be of service? How can you bring in more money? And so we'd rather support that, but we do want to make it possible. And so if you don't presently have, after the retreat, it's very possible that you begin to make a lot more money. However, in this moment, if it's not possible to get a ticket all at once, then you can actually make the first payment for just $149. And then the second payment is a month later, and then a month later. So that's how we just tune in and make it very easy for everybody. It shouldn't be in the way at all. And so with that, I'm not going to try to go into all the time zones and stuff, but just look at the time right now, and approximately for the next 48 hours, there will be a discount for you, and this is when you apply within the next 48 hours. And in your application, when it says, how did you find out about this retreat, mention today's webinar. And then in the response that you get, if you're accepted, in the response, I will send you a personal discount code for €400 off, which is then going to be valid for about 72 hours. So you have about 3 days to complete your registration. So just to repeat that, just check the time right now. When you apply between now and about 48 hours from now, so for the next 2 days, and you mention in your application that you found out about this in this webinar, so just mention this, remind me of this, then I will send you a personal code that is valid for another 72 hours that gives you €400 off, which brings it to even €400 off for the full ticket or for the payment plan. So that's basically it. And then after that, when you get your ticket, you will receive another email that has all of the travel tips and everything that you need to know about the hidden paradise and how to get there, because it's a secret location. You can only get there once you are actually signed up. And also you will receive an invitation to book an optional but really highly recommended one-on-one 30-minute session with Tess. Tess, again, is one of the 3 other sisters who are joining for this as a facilitator. She's an amazing coach, an amazing woman. And it's a 30-minute intention session where you really get to tune into your deeper desire, your deeper calling. And so it's a really amazing support that we've put out that you will be invited to book once you have your ticket. And you will also receive a number of bonuses. Okay, so with this, I'm going to come on to video again. And so, by the way, here on the website, you can scroll down further and you can read a bit more about me. If you don't know me from before, there's a bit more information here. And some testimonials and about Crystal and Tess and Claire. And yes, all right, girl, let's do this. See you in Spain. Okay, beautiful. So with that, I'm going to come back on video again. Beautiful. I'm just checking the chat. Claire says, yes, super excited, next level, so deep, juicy, nourishing, healing, opening, love-filled, yumminess. Beautiful. Okay, yes, this resonates very much to me. What a beautiful retreat and nature surrounding, says Yannicke. Yeah, nice. And Debbie says there's a lot happening right now going through this retreat, energy releases. This is what I've heard from so many women, and I've been kind of almost shocked because I'm like, it's just a website. What do you mean? But yeah. Okay. So let me just, so I see that some women, yeah, we just are almost up to 2 hours right now. So I just want to put in the link for all of you so you can check this out, and I'll send out a follow-up email to all of you who are here live right now as well, but you can bring this in. So basically there's the whole website. My advice is to Google it. It sounds perfect. Nice. And Debbie is still processing here, resonates. And so best thing to do is just to go there and to feel how this lands for you, to feel how this resonates for you. And then, when you fill in the application, it doesn't mean that you're obliged to then get your ticket. Again, we're getting a lot of applications, and we don't necessarily accept everybody, although it's been an amazing readiness, like the experience. When I'm reading, there's one question about what's your previous experience, and you don't need to have previous experience. You can just be open. But a lot of women are like done a lot, so it's a potent group of women. Feel in the application and mention that you heard about it in this webinar training, and then you will notice that as soon as you've actually sent it in, and especially after you've actually bought your ticket, so much begins to happen. I've been getting messages from women who are experiencing openings and energy activations just from tuning in, even before we are even there together in Spain. And so it's just incredible. And I'm so ecstatic and so joyous. I was speaking with Claire and Crystal and Tess last week, and when we've been having our team get-togethers and tuning in with all of you and preparing the space, there's so much that is unlocking already. And where I was saying to them, because I love these 3 women so much, I was like, it was before we launched. When I said to them, I was like, you know what, if nobody signs up and if it's just for the 4 of us hanging out for a week in the hidden paradise in the mountains, I would be there. That would be an amazing time. But then as I said it, I was like, but that's not going to happen, because this is so potent. But I just feel, I've never felt this level of surrender and trust. Again, is that it's not that we are trying to sell tickets or wanting to get as many as possible. It's just that when I'm meditating with this and when I'm tuning in, and Claire, if you're still watching, you can, yeah, exactly. Claire says the process begins as soon as you sign up. It's incredible. So hold this vision together with me here. Oh, and Debbie says, now it's soft and flowing. Wow, the energy of this retreat is totally amazing. Beautiful. When I meditate with this, it's like I can already feel the circle of women. I can already feel everybody being there. And now it's just curious about like, well, who is it? Who is it? Who is it that's going to co-create? And the circle can grow. It's not that there's a fixed amount, but it's just that. And so I'm just feeling really grateful to be there. Yeah, and Claire says also that the process begins as soon as you feel that full body yes. Beautiful. I'm making it happen. Nice. Yeah, Caroline, you got to go. Follow your via email for further information about the retreat. Yes. And you can see the link here as well, and I will send that to you in a follow-up email when we have hung up. Tonight I'm going to go to ecstatic contact and have dinner with my love. But I think I'll see if I can send out the follow-up email already today, and that would be nice. And that is the invitation. That is it. And by the way, if the dates don't work for you, so there's been quite a lot of questions about the dates. Miraculously, not so many. Miraculously, a lot of women are like, oh my God, I'm already going to be in Spain, or that's the perfect gap, but I don't have anything planned. It's almost been like the universe has been preparing the space for this. But if that is the case for you, that you can't be there, either maybe you're able to reschedule something, that sometimes is worth it. I've done that a bunch of times myself when I really want to go to something and I just clear the space. But it's been questions about future retreats. We don't know. This is the first time that we're doing, and it's very possible that there will be more. This might be the only one ever. We don't know. I mean, when I'm tuning into it, I can feel like other places like Spain again, Bali as a possibility, but that would be like next year. And so this is the perfect time. And also in the same venue, 11 days after this finishes, is the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat, which is filling up as we speak as well. And so if you resonate with this vibe and you want to be in a space with both men and women, then go to ecstaticawakeningretreat.com/Spain and get in there as well. It's happening the 18th to the 25th of July. And interestingly enough, this is like a side note, but I haven't even gone into the full story of this, but something that I share sometimes about what was it that catalyzed this whole process for me in this life, because it's been a massive journey I'm going through. But the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat, the 18th of July, it actually starts exactly 20 years to the day of my sister passing, my sister transitioning to the other side, my sister who died when I was 12 and she was 18. And I'm not going to go into the whole story right now, but basically what happened to her and how she was killed and all of that is what sent me on the path of everything. And it's really interesting how it came together with the dates for Ecstatic Awakening, that somehow the 20 years to the day after that happening, we are opening that portal in Spain, in the mountains, which is really incredible and really, really beautiful. And it feels like a really beautiful manifestation of life and opening, and just seeing the whole 20-year journey that has happened since that day, when all of that happened to her. And so just a piece of information that I haven't shared before, but I felt moved to share that with you right now as well. So Yannicka says, thanks so much, Ronja, for your openness, your lovely and powerful energy. I feel so energized when hearing and seeing you. Thanks so much for your sharing. Feels as a full body yes to join this retreat. God, it feels so effortless, this whole thing. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing. Really amazing. Thank you, Yannicka, for sharing this. Thank you, Adelina. Yeah, and we're coming up to wrap-up time. So I just want to see if there are any last questions. So there was one question that I wanted to go back to. And then we're going to wrap up together. So we're coming into the last couple of minutes. And so if you have the space to stay for another couple of minutes, then we'll just be here for the full, wrap-up time thing. And so just checking with the Q&A. Okay. So I'm going to end Manuk's question, because that was one that I didn't answer before. To just let's see, marking this as an answer. So Manuk was asking, I have had periods in my life where my sexual energy, I'm not sure which ones, maybe all three of them, was quite high, maybe in an unbalanced way. But I didn't really know how to deal with how this attracted men. There was literally multiple men who declared that I was the one, the mother of their future children, after just meeting me once. It was quite overwhelming and a bit confusing. I guess maybe I wasn't clear on my boundaries either, but I've noticed my response is to just shut down these energies. I'm curious if you have any tips for this. Yes, I do. Thank you. So first of all, congratulations that your energy was this open and that you've had the courage to actually be in that kind of way. Just one moment, I'm just going to turn down this light very slightly. It's bright. Okay, there we go. So first of all, congratulations for allowing that flow. It's really powerful. And when you have a lot of life force energy and a lot of radiance and attractiveness and awareness, then you are naturally attractive. And so given that most people, men and women, are very blocked in this area, if you are even fairly open, you become extremely hot on the market, you become extremely attractive. And so it's not strange that this happened to you. And now the way to move with this in a way that actually really works for you is to couple this together with energetic clarity and values and standards, and knowing that within yourself. It's linked to respect. So let me start with energetic clarity. So if I am filled up with life energy and I'm interacting with a man, then I can really put that out there, and I can be in this juicy way where I become very attractive to pretty much any man who is open for that kind of interaction. Or I can feel all of this inside me, but there's a feeling of verticality, again, that feeling of connection with the earth and with the sky. You can be in this energetically, and this is one of the things that we play with in the retreat, especially between men and women. We do this a lot in the Ecstatic Awakening retreat, where you can be in this more penetrating energetic quality, or in a more kind of inviting, alluring quality, receptive, pulling in, or you can just be vertically rested, where it's like you don't need anything from anybody, you're happy to connect, but there's no pull, if that makes sense, energetically. And so when you are like that, there's more of energetic clarity, and also within yourself. And this is an inner attunement. You know that you are that mother of somebody's children. If you want to have kids, you are that the one for somebody when it feels really right for you. And until then, you're not going to give that away. So there can be this owning of that quality within yourself, and that even pride and love and appreciation for yourself, that you have all of this, that you're like a queen, and just owning that. But also just knowing that I'm keeping this for me. I can share it with friends. I can share it, in different ways and feel aligned. But to fully dive into partnership, you've got to be pretty fucking amazing to meet me there. And when you just know that within yourself, then some men will still be attracted, but they will feel a natural, to keep a distance, respectful distance, in a way that actually honors your boundaries. And when you also realize that this is something that is to be celebrated, and you can own this, and at the same time have this energetic clarity. And then the third thing that I would add to that, other than the energetic alignment and your own inner knowing of your standards, is the refining sexual energy practice. The more you are balanced in this way, because when you have a lot of like breasts and heart and sex, but not so much awareness, and that can also come off as a bit out of balance, and that's going to attract out of balance men. Because whatever you've got going on inside, you're going to attract somebody who has the corresponding balance and the corresponding imbalance in that as well. And so you can really gauge how you are doing by also seeing what reflections life brings to you in terms of partners that you attract. And so energetic inner alignment, knowing of your standards, celebrating your qualities, knowing what it is that you desire, and that you will give yourself fully to somebody when they're fully able to meet you there, and they're right for you. And also just feeling that inner balance within yourself, and really prioritizing balancing, so working on you and opening up for you, and then watching how life will bring to you these reflections. And Gabriel is a beautiful example of this, where after my last big relationship, I did a ton of internal work and clearing out, and just like I was like, I'm not stopping until I get to the bottom of all of this, and just opening so much, and now being in the most unbelievably loving, passionate, multidimensional, connected relationship I could ever imagine, that keeps on getting better every single day. And so that's a reflection of what happens when you do these practices. And that's going from, in my younger years, just feeling like I was the ugliest person on the planet, and I had actually a belief for quite some years that no man would ever be attracted to me, ever. And then when I started exploring Tantra and discovered all these things about masculine and feminine polarity, then a lot of the shielding began to melt, and then the natural attractiveness started shining through, and life began to reflect. But even since then, it's been a big journey, and so it's really joyous to be able to share this. And there's some cool sexual vitality qigong practices you can do as well to activate these different energy centers in your body. And so if you're still on Manuk, then let me know if this resonates for you and if this is helpful for you. Debbie says, thank you so much for sharing, lovely. It's like everything will come together at retreat. Yes, 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 yes. So if you're enjoying this, it's like a small glimpse. And in the retreat, there's also, in a way, like less talking and more experiencing. Less talking and more experiencing. And Eve says, this is happening to me now. A bunch of men wanting to have children with me and declaring I'm the one. So, okay, cool. So let me know, Eve, if you found some things that are useful or can be useful for you as well. Wow, it's an incredibly beautiful time together. It is high time for us to wrap up. I'm going to go dance and have dinner and some refreshment here. And I would love to, hell yes, nice. I would love to invite all of you also that after we hang up together, that you also take a moment away from your technology and do something to rejuvenate, something to just rejuvenate. If you have the possibility to go outside and put your bare feet on the earth, go and breathe some of that fresh air. It's really beautiful, or even just a moment of meditation. And then you can come back also and go in to check the Ultimate Goddess Retreat experience, check that invitation, and really allow yourself to tune in to this. It's happening in less than a month, and it's really incredible what's coming together. And if you can't come to that one, then check out the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat, because it's equally amazing in just a very different way. And we actually maybe don't, because we have so many women sign up for the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat, and we actually want more dudes. And so if you're seeing this and you have some men in your life, then please point them to the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat, because we want more men. The women are just like finding us and signing up, and men too, but we definitely want more men. Debbie says already did. Checking the retreat. Okay, nice. Let me just also put the Ecstatic Awakening Retreat in here as well. Oh yeah, one more thing that I forgot to mention. So when you have your ticket, then you will also be receiving a number of practices to support you. So you will be receiving the Pussy Power Yoni Yoga workout, incredible experience, the Inner Ripple practice. You'll be receiving the Yoni Yoga practice, as well as the Limitless Meditation, Internal Freedom, and a Golden Light Womb and Heart Breath Liquid Love meditation. So these are all practices that begin to open up your inner space and teach you some of the skills, because some women have done these practices already through my online courses or in person. And we really want everybody to have a certain like common ground. A lot of women have a lot of experience, but we want women to have experiences with these specific practices before we come to the retreat. So then we don't have to spend so much time learning those, and we can go deeper from there. And so those are practices that you will receive once you have your ticket, as well as alongside the one-on-one session with Tess that is going to take you deeper into your intention. Beautiful Ecstatic Awakening Bali, end of the year. Yes, it is happening. Thank you so much. Love and wisdom. Bye, Vimeen. Manuk, looking forward to connecting more again with my sexuality, with this new knowledge. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, women, lots of yeses. Okay, beautiful. Glad to hear that that was helpful for you, Manuk, as well. Okay, my beauties. So let us wrap up this call. And so with that, to again balance the energy within ourselves. Maybe you're feeling excitement, maybe you feel low in energy. So whatever that is in this moment, let's take one deep breath in, sweeping your arms up, and breathing out, and opening, and breathing all the way down. Again, breathing in, and breathing out. And one more time, deep breath in. Interlacing your fingers at the top, and you can see this, I'll move a little bit further back. Interlacing your fingers at the top, and have a gentle back bend, stretching all the way up. Another deep breath in, and then releasing the arms, lowering your arms all the way down. Okay, great. And then taking a moment to notice how you're feeling in this moment. And if you feel a lot of expansion and excitement upwards, Then take a couple of breaths and pour some of that relaxation down into your belly, your womb space, your pussy, your legs, into your feet, into the earth. Quality of liquid presence moving down through your body. Deep, soft, loving breaths. Great. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes. You're welcome to type in the chat any last shares before we log off, before we sign off. And I feel this deep gratitude for all of you. And so there are a lot more women who are still here live. You have Debbie, Dagmar, Mira, Gudla, Anna, Siv, Judith, Irina, Sarah, Manouk, Eve, Brittany, Caroline, Dawn, Therese, Therese, Shima, Shoshana, Marianne, Vina, Cecilia, Wendy, Annika, Cecil, Clark, Patricia, Vilmine, Anya, Annabelle, Claire. Okay, there's more and more. Yeah. I had a total of a couple of hundred women registered for this webinar today. So all of you women, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay of this, I think there will be a replay. I'm pretty sure we have that. Thank you so much. Thank you so deeply for being here. So have a beautiful day, morning, night, wherever you are. Yeah, I feel blessed too. And so with that, wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you in Spain.